Merry New Year, everyone! Today I want to talk about a video game that has kind of helped me shape to who I am today. It was one of the first, really good RPGs I've ever played. It really cemented the fact that I really like RPGs. I'm of course talking about the classic... Shit. What, I'm of course talking about the classic Neverwinter Nights 2 for the PC. This game was made by Obsidian Entertainment 10 years ago, and it's still pretty good today. It's basically if you took D&D and said, fuck it, we're making a video game with it. When it comes to tabletop gaming, I've never really played D&D that much. I've played Pathfinder more. But I do know one thing about D&D is that the swim skill is fucking stupid. Nobody fucking ever picks that. And then, of course, the DM is like, you gotta take a boat. And you're like, fuck you, I'm gonna walk. Underwater. Bitch. The game starts by you creating your own character, and that's actually pretty cool because you can start with any of the starting races. You can be a human, an elf, a gnome, a halfling, half orc, half elf. Then you choose your appearance, you choose your class, you choose your name, and off you go. It's kind of a classic story. You start in a peaceful village, you have a festival, you have some fun, you beat up some assholes, and then everything's on fire, you get attacked by creatures from a nether realm or something, and then people are like, what the fuck is going on? And then your Vulcan dad is like, take this stone and go to Neverwinter Night. Why? Shut up and do it. So you do, because that's the plot, basically. And then on the way, you're gonna meet some new companions, like you find a dwarf who's drunk and wants to beat up people with his fist. And then you meet a girl who's a thief, and she also has a demon tail. You meet another girl who's like, I can shapeshift into a tree. You're like, it's pretty cool. So after a lot of shenanigans, you finally get to Neverwinter, and you're like, we should go see my uncle. And if you're wondering if your uncle is going to be anything like the race you chose, no, because you're adopted, and fuck you. From there comes the incredibly deep and very well diversified moral choices of the game. You can either become a guard, or you can become a criminal. Ooh. I don't even remember why you have to do that, but basically... fuck, I really don't know. After fucking about Neverwinter for a while, you finally continue your quest to find the magic stones to restore a magic sword that can, it's the only sword that can kill a certain type of creature because magic. And along the way, you keep getting into shenanigans after shenanigans because nobody will leave you the fuck alone. And you keep meeting some other people, you meet a magician, you meet a paladin, and you finally meet a priestess woman who's like, oh yeah, I know everything about the gift Yankee, the magic sword you're carrying, I can help you on your quest. And shortly afterwards is where I stopped playing. Anyone who barely knows who I am knows that I have incredible difficulty running games for some reason. This game is no exception. I don't know if it's because my data got corrupted or the game is just in a poor state for some reason. Maybe it's the version I have. But the game would bug constantly. I'll give it credit though. Every time it bugged, it was in a new, creative way. So that was always something to look forward to. I actually made a list to not forget, but I'll only name a few. For example, there's a quest where you need to, bring a stone to, some kind of forest goddess who's protected by, dire boars, dire bears, and shit. So I give her the stone, and then absolutely nothing. Yeah, cool. There was a dungeon where I was walking around, and then suddenly I get to the end boss. Just like that. For no reason. The cutscene starts, and it's like, you asshole, blah. I was just in a corridor, what the fuck? Oh, there was also a mission you do for the Thiefling. It's called the Collector, and this mission was completely fucked. Completely fucked, man. There was everything was getting doubled. I could find multiple versions of the same item. The characters I would speak to would either get the wrong dialogue, or they would also double as well. At some point you're supposed to talk to the Collector with a hostage, but there was two hostages, and then I talked to the Collector, he's giving me the wrong line, and then he doubles. There's another Collector that appears. What the fuck was going on? But, despite all of that, my favorite glitch that happened in the game, I was walking around in the dungeon, and then my tiefling's rapier became a crossbow. It became a crossbow. I didn't change weapon. She didn't even have a crossbow in inventory at all. Just her rapier became a crossbow. So all of a sudden, my girl is in the back row, shooting people with her rapier, and she had infinite. I checked, she didn't have any bullets. She still fired though, no problem. And then as soon as I changed zones, it's back to normal. No worries. Her crossbow is gone. She's back to having the rapier. Everything is okay in the world. And apart from that, there was a lot of pathfinding errors. I got stuck in walls, I got stuck in doors, I got stuck in rooms. The game soft locked 3 times. You can imagine, I was getting really, really, really fed up. And when it finally happened, the last time it soft locked, I was just having a conversation with, I think it was an ogre mage, and I just like clicked like, yeah, 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 whatever, I'll help you, and then I couldn't move anymore. I couldn't do anything. Just nothing worked anymore. So I was like, you know what? Fuck you! And yet, after all of that, I would still recommend you play the game because it still was a load of fun. The dialogues are fun, the combat is fun. Walking around the city, like checking out the shops, managing your inventory. It's fun having like a lot of stuff to do. At some point, you even get your own castle, and with all of the money you've accumulated throughout the game, you can start like repairing it, creating new rooms. You can recruit some more people to like protect the roads, protect the farms, and you make money. It's pretty fun. Additionally, whatever type of weapon you choose to use, like let's say you specialize in, I don't know, scythes, there will always be a special weapon for you because in this game, like every weapon type has a magical property. It's not just the short swords and the long swords, or you're gonna see a shitload of them that are magical. But like if you want a spear, well, you'll never find a magic spear. In this game, you can find a magic everything. So that's really great. The weapons, the armors, the accessories, the items. It's really great to mess around with that. And hey, there's a lot of mods that exist for the game, like having new races, having other campaigns. You can even go on multiplayer. I did not go on multiplayer because I was afraid my computer would explode at that point, but you give it a shot. And finally, the last thing I'll say is the monster variety of this game. It's always been awesome because it's based on D&D, and D&D is famous for having a lot of monsters. I mean, shit, you even get gnome werewolves. How awesome is that? Although for some reason they have a really nice rump. So that's it for the review. I know some of you are probably going to be like, what, you didn't even finish the game? That's not a complete review. And to you I say, I'm a